What if the world's most powerful CEO, the man who has built an empire spanning continents, is secretly responsible for something so devastating that it could tear apart the lives of thousands of people? You may have heard about his philanthropic ventures, his famous speeches about success, and his social media presence that paints him as a hero. But what if everything you've been told was a lie? Behind the facade of charity and success lies a shocking truth, one so sinister that if it ever came to light, it would ruin everything. But no one has dared to challenge him. Everyone who has tried to expose him has been silenced, fired, blacklisted, or worse. The world has been blind to his dark side, and his empire continues to grow. That is, until one man, an actor with no reason to get involved, decides that enough is enough. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a man known for portraying heroes, takes matters into his own hands. But this time, it's not for a movie role. It's not about fame or fortune. It's about something much bigger than Hollywood. The fight for justice, for the truth, for the people who have been suffering in silence. The moment he steps into the billionaire's office, everything changes. He doesn't ask for permission. He doesn't negotiate. He walks straight up to the desk, places a thick manila folder filled with explosive secrets on the table, and looks the CEO dead in the eyes. What could possibly be inside that folder? What truth is so dangerous that it could take down one of the richest men in the world? But here's the catch. The Rock isn't just fighting for the people you see on the news. He's fighting for the invisible, the workers who spend their lives toiling away, risking everything to make a living, while the man in the office enjoys luxury beyond imagination. It's not just a battle of power. It's a battle for human dignity. But what happens when things escalate beyond anyone's control? What happens when the billionaire fights back with everything he has? Resources, connections, and influence. Will The Rock's fight for justice be enough? Or will it lead to something even more dangerous than he expected? As the truth begins to unravel, a series of shocking events begin to unfold. Events that not only change the fate of the workers, but also The Rock himself. In a world where the powerful seem untouchable, will one man's courage be enough to shake the very foundation of a multi-billion-dollar empire? This isn't just a story about a celebrity standing up for what's right. This is about a fight that no one saw coming. A story of truth, power, and the consequences of taking a stand when no one else will. What happens next is going to shock you to your core, and you're not going to want to miss it. So why did The Rock decide to risk it all? What did he discover that no one else dared to uncover? And how far is he willing to go to ensure that justice is served, even if it means taking on the most powerful forces in the world? The truth is out there, but it's not what you think. Stay tuned, because what happens next will have you on the edge of your seat, questioning everything you thought you knew about the system, power, and the lengths one man will go to for what's right. Hit that subscribe button, because you'll want to see how this unbelievable story unfolds. And trust me, what's coming next is something you'll never forget. It's easy to think of billionaires as untouchable, people whose wealth and power insulate them from the consequences of their actions. The world admires them for their success, their rags to riches stories. But behind the curtain, there are truths that remain hidden, things that people are afraid to uncover. The CEO of one of the world's largest corporations, the man who seemed like a symbol of success, had built his empire on the backs of the poor, the struggling, and the unseen. No one knew the full extent of his actions until one man decided to risk it all to expose him. That man was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It started with an anonymous phone call. Dwayne Johnson was sitting in his Hollywood mansion, sipping coffee and enjoying a rare moment of quiet when the call came through. He had no idea that this conversation would change everything. The voice on the other end was frantic. "You don't know me, but you have to listen. There's something you need to know about the billionaire CEO everyone calls a hero." Dwayne was skeptical at first. He'd heard rumors about corruption, about the dark side of the rich and powerful. But this was something different. The caller knew things that only someone with insider information could know. Details about workers, about illegal practices, about how lives had been destroyed in the name of profit. And what made it even worse was that no one had dared to challenge the CEO. He had silenced every person who tried, firing employees, bribing the media, using his power to make people disappear. But this caller wasn't going to stay quiet. He had proof, solid proof. and he wanted The Rock to be the one to expose it. Dwayne Johnson, known for his roles in action movies and his larger-than-life persona, never imagined that he'd find himself taking on a real-life villain. But here he was, gathering evidence and listening to stories of workers who had been treated like nothing more than expendable parts in a machine. The deeper he dug, the more horrifying the truth became. Factory workers had been forced to work in unsafe conditions. Many had been injured and left without compensation. Others had their lives ruined because they spoke out or tried to seek justice. The billionaire had buried the truth under layers of lies and influence. The more he uncovered, the more Dwayne realized the magnitude of what was at stake. This wasn't just about one man's greed. It was about an entire system that had been built on the suffering of countless others. But Dwayne wasn't going to let it go. He couldn't. Not when people were being hurt. Not when the truth was out there, waiting to be exposed. One evening, Dwayne found himself in a high-rise office building, one that was a symbol of the billionaire's empire. The air was thick with tension as he walked into the CEO's sleek, glass-walled office. The billionaire greeted him with a smile, trying to play the part of the friendly, successful businessman. But Dwayne wasn't fooled. He had one goal: to confront the man who had been pulling the strings for far too long. Without a word, Dwayne placed a thick manila folder on the CEO's desk. The contents of that folder would change everything. The billionaire's smile faded as he saw the documents, the irrefutable proof of everything Dwayne had uncovered. "You don't have to do this," the CEO said, his voice cold. "You could walk away. Forget about it. Take the money. Take the fame." But Dwayne wasn't interested in money. He wasn't interested in fame. He was interested in justice. And for the first time, the billionaire realized that he wasn't untouchable, that maybe, just maybe, the power of truth could bring down everything he had built. The billionaire didn't go down without a fight. He threw everything he had at Dwayne: lawyers, private investigators, threats. He tried to buy the media, to bury the truth, to twist the narrative. But Dwayne wasn't backing down. As the battle raged on, Dwayne's courage began to inspire others. Workers who had been silenced for years started to speak out. The public, once enamored by the billionaire's charm, began to see him for what he really was: a man who had built his empire on lies, corruption, and the suffering of others. The movement began to grow. And as it did, Dwayne knew there was no going back. As the truth unraveled, the consequences became undeniable. The CEO's empire crumbled. Lawsuits were filed. Investigations were launched. And the workers, who had been denied justice for so long, finally began to receive the compensation they were owed. But it wasn't just about the legal victory. It was about the message it sent. No one is above the law. No one is too powerful to be held accountable. Dwayne had risked everything for this: his career, his reputation, even his safety. But in the end, he knew it had been worth it. This story is about more than just a celebrity standing up to a powerful billionaire. It's about fighting for what's right when no one else will. It's about using whatever platform you have to make a difference. And most importantly, it's about never letting fear stop you from doing what's right. Dwayne Johnson didn't need to get involved. He didn't need the drama. But he chose to fight for the voiceless, for the people who had been ignored for too long. His actions prove that one person, armed with courage and the truth, can make all the difference. This isn't just the end of a fight. It's a beginning, a reminder that we all have the power to stand up for what's right.